5 Coronation Street spoilers subsequent week. Julie Carp dies and Mick Michaelis turns nasty again. Dee-Dee has a alternate of heart. Lauren is suspicious and Jenny is downbeat. 1. Julie Carp passes farfar from cancer. Julie asks Eileen to get a few refreshments. And whilst she returns, Eileen unearths Julie mendacity on her again together along with her eyes closed. A panicked Eileen tests Julie's pulse. At the same time as on the house, George unearths a video of Julie advising Eileen to give up her courting with George. Sadly, this marks Julie's very last episode. And because the week continues, and dissatisfied Eileen mulls over Julie's death. But George annoys Eileen through fixating on Julie's message approximately their courting. With Eileen because of go out with inside the coming weeks. Will she unload George? 2. Todd Grimshaw is centered and Mick Michaelis assaults Theo Silverton. It stays to be visible whether or not that is regarding his assault on Theo or a separate incident. However, Kid Green is fearful to interview amused Mick. Theo breaks right all the way down to involved Billy. At the same time as Mick is added in for police wondering on suspicion of an assault. It stays to be visible whether or not that is regarding his assault on Theo or a separate incident. However, Kid Green is fearful to interview amused Mick. Kit fails to impeach Mick in Element and releases him. Earlier than Mick corners Kit out of doors and says they want to chat, leaving us questioning what Mick has on Kit. Later, Mick pranks youngsterager Liam Connor through masking him in cement on the builder's yard. And Liam is pressured to snicker along. But at the same time as Theo may also restored from Mick. Todd is paying the fee for his affair with married Theo, whose daughter Millie calls on the Undertakers to call for solutions from her dad. Uneasy Todd later hears the auto alarm at the hearse and unearths it included in paint. Todd is taken aback to find out Millie vandalized the hearse. However, as she rails at him for ripping her own circle of relatives apart, Theo leaps to Millie's defense. Is Todd preventing a dropping battle? 3. Dee-Dee Bailey bonds with toddler Layla. Will she cross again on her plan? Dee-Dee tells Aaliyah Nazir that she's began out to bond with Layla. And Aaliyah urges her to reconsider the adoption and insists that James will forgive her in time. Dee-Dee later tells her different brother, Michael, that she's feeling lots higher and is returning to work. But whilst she unearths Roy Cropper with inside the cafe with a candlelit cake in honor of Haley's birthday, Dee-Dee will become emotional. It's been only a few weeks considering Dee-Dee underwent an emergency hysterectomy because of staff's racial negligence over her hospital treatment at some stage in and after labor. Will Dee-Dee determine she desires to be a mum to Layla after all? 4. Lauren Bolton suspects Bobby Crawford of blackmail. Bobby gives to assist Lauren study flats. However, she turns him down. Lauren is shocked over nearby lease expenses and is aware of she desires a job. And fast. Audie Allahan gives to install a terrific phrase at Freshco. However, whilst Lauren receives some other textual content from the blackmailer, demanding £200 or they may record her to the police, Lauren despairs. Lauren suggests Betsy Swain the message and says she suspects Bobby as the culprit, as a manner of having towards her. Lauren plans to name Bobby's bluff and Flora a few faux cash. As Lauren and Betsy wait, will Bobby be discovered because the blackmailer or has Lauren were given all of it wrong? 5. Jenny Connor loses manage of the Rovers as Glenda Shuttleworth schemes. Rita Tanner orders Jenny to prevent wallowing in self-pity and to appearance to the destiny at the same time as she's nevertheless were given her health. But because the week attracts to a close, matters take an frightening flip whilst Ryan Connor tentatively explains to Jenny that she's now not his boss and he now takes his orders from Carla Connor. Glenda Shuttleworth suggests a few searching for what you offer round the Rovers. However, she tries to position them off as Ryan watches suspiciously. Will Carla effectively promote the pub? Thanks for watching and stay tuned for more movie spoilers next week. Goodbye and see you again.